Hi, everybody. Welcome to this webinar on cleansing and detoxing your life in 30 days. I am so excited to share this information with you. I have been on a journey for many years trying to figure out how to cleanse my body and get back into a place of balance. And I've tried so many crazy things. I've tried drinking water only for a week. I've tried doing lemon juice and maple syrup and cayenne pepper for 21 days. I've tried just drinking smoothies 5 times a day for a month. I've tried other things. I mean, I don't even know. I've tried so many crazy things. And most of those cleansing processes were short-lived. And I did the cleansing and then flipped back to my normal way of life, and probably even a little bit further in the opposite direction, because I wasn't necessarily using the right methods and the right products. And so ideally, we are cleansing on a daily basis. It's not something we just do once a year. But if we haven't been cleansing on a daily basis, then we might need to do a deeper cleanse for a set period of time. And then to start to incorporate some of those things into our regular lifestyle. So what we're talking about in this webinar is a way for you to kickstart daily cleansing by doing a very focused cleanse for 30 days. I'm going to be sharing a protocol that I am following when I go to Budapest tomorrow. I am currently in Paris, and I'm flying to Budapest tomorrow, Tuesday, to spend 30 days bathing in the thermal waters. So the sulfur content of the water is very cleansing. And while not everyone can join me in Budapest, there are specific things that I'm going to be incorporating on top of the thermal bathing that you can do at home. Or you can come to Budapest and hang out with me. That is also fine. So there we go. Who am I? For those of you that don't know me, I am Amanda Brumel. It's a pleasure to meet you. I am a certified holistic health counselor, and I studied at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. I graduated in 2006. That was back when I lived in New York City. I lived in New York City for 15 years. I went to undergrad there at NYU, and I went to grad school at Columbia for acting. And then while I was doing all those things, I decided that I wanted to really explore a natural path to wellness, and my own personal journey took me on the path to becoming certified as a health coach. So now I'm doing that full time, along with being a doTERRA wellness advocate and a silver leader. I actually am now gold. I just reached the rank of gold last month. So that is now what I do full time: health coaching and sharing about doTERRA. I'm a lover of all things that come directly from the earth. I think the early part of my life was very focused on things that did not come from the earth, things that came from a box or a plastic bag, or a fast food place. So I was very ill in my early 20s, which is no surprise. I had a lot of hormonal imbalance, mood imbalances. I just did not feel well. And so that really inspired me to take this path of natural health, because I was so desperate for alternatives. And when I moved away from the non-natural substances and I started pursuing the natural ones, I started feeling better. And so to not even know as a young girl that these things were even an option. I mean, I just had no education whatsoever. It really made me realize that this information has to get out to as many people as I can possibly reach. So that is one of the reasons why I am teaching this webinar right now, because many of you may not know how to healthily cleanse, because you've probably heard of some of the crazy things that I've done. You might have even tried and they worked for a short period of time, but then couldn't stick to it, or just wasn't realistic to be doing on a daily basis. And so obviously I also have a serious case of wanderlust, since I am on the other side of the world right now from most of you, in Paris, heading to Budapest for a month, and then I'm going to be in London for 10 days before I head back to New York and then back to LA, which is my home base. For now it is. I don't know. Paris is calling me, so we'll see what happens. Now, as we go along, there is a chat box. If you have questions that come up and you want to ask them, you can type them into the chat box because I have everyone muted. If there's anything urgent, try to get my attention. Otherwise, I'll open up the forum at the end so you can ask questions in person if you have anything that you want to reserve until that time. So anything urgent, feel free to let me know in the chat box. Okay. What is my intention? My intention is to serve you. This class, this webinar is intended to help you leave educated and empowered. I am here to remind you that no one else is more of an expert about your own body than you. You were born whole and you are wired for health on a cellular level. And that is your natural state. So if anyone watching this webinar does not feel this way, my intention is to show you the natural path back to wellness and wholeness. Now, that path can get blocked because of all of the toxins that are in our environment. We're going to talk about what some of those toxins are and how you can successfully remove those blocks so that you can have a clear path to wellness. So you're going to learn how to safely and effectively cleanse using essential oils and other methods of cleansing that I'll share with you towards the end. My second intention, aside from educating you, is empowering you. So if you're not already using doTERRA, if you're not already cleansing, if you're not already using essential oils, I will help you get them safely and at the best price, along with free coaching. So stay tuned to the end. I'll give you my email address so you can follow up with me and connect with me if you want to get more information. That is really ultimately the goal, is to make sure that you are able to get started with this right away if you want to, if you're feeling called. All right, so this is a wellness lifestyle pyramid, and you can see that there are a number of different levels. So obviously the core, the foundation is eating right. We have to be eating a healthy diet. So you can't just be eating Doritos and McDonald's all year and then do a cleanse for 30 days and expect to feel good. Again, we're talking about a lifestyle. So even though we're doing a very, focused cleanse, you want to create a healthy lifestyle. So you want to have healthy habits in two main areas: lifestyle and healthcare. So combining all these facets of the pyramid creates maximum health. And if any part of this pyramid is weak, it affects overall well-being. So if you're not sleeping, then it can be affecting everything else. You're not going to want to exercise. You might reach for more sugar or coffee rather than a salad. If you are not exercising, then you might have more toxic load in your body because your channels of elimination are not processing things properly. So the focus of today's talk is reducing toxic load. But you want to make sure that you're keeping the other areas in mind as you create a healthy lifestyle. Okay, toxic load. So a toxin is any substance that causes harm to the body. And toxic load is an accumulation of all the toxins and the burden that it places on our bodies. So there are these are the three most common toxins that are pictured here. Pathogens, those look kind of icky, right? They actually look like little capsules, but they're microbial agents: bacteria, fungi, viruses, things that invade our bodies and cause infections or disease. Second toxins are chemicals. So they could be natural or synthetic that cause harm to the body. Artificial sweeteners and flavors, auto exhaust, cigarette smoke, solvents, plastic, pesticides, harsh cleaning products. So most of the time chemicals are going to be synthetic, but there could be things that are natural that if you take in too large of a quantity, it could be toxic to the body. So you can drink too much water and die. So you just want to make sure that even if you're using something that's natural, if it's in a concentrated form or if you're overusing it, it could do damage to the body. So that's another reason why, as you start using natural products and essential oils, you want to make sure that you get the proper education and coaching so that you know you're using it in the correct amounts. Third is radiation. So these are high energy particles that cause harm to cellular structures and DNA. The most common source is sunlight. So this is another thing. Sunlight is beautiful. It creates life on Earth, but you get overexposed to sunlight and it can do major damage to your body and your cells. So you just want to make sure that you're using sunlight in moderation. Okay, toxic load. The root of all evil is sugar. Oh, poor sugar. We're sorry. We love you, but we don't love you. So this is a huge toxin, and it is probably the most underrated drug on the planet. It is so easy to get addicted to sugar, and we get addicted to sugar pretty much in the womb if our mother is eating a lot of sugar. So it's something that is a constant battle, and we really need to be aware of because it does a lot of damage to the system. So if you are having issues with sugar addiction, or you just are having a major love affair that you can't break yourself of with sugar, that is my area of expertise. So it's something that you can definitely reach out to me and ask what I've done to help with my personal sugar addiction, because it manifested for a long time in drinking alcohol. And so a lot of times alcoholics are actually just addicted to sugar. And so alcohol is a fast way to get the sugar in their body. And it also, alters their reality as well if they're dealing with emotional things, which is why they're eating the sugar in the first place. So definitely want to make sure that you're eliminating sugar from the diet as much as possible. And I have some tips and tricks of how to transfer the urges for sugar and substitute it with things that are more positive. So that's something that I can coach you on too. So feel free to reach out to me if you want more details on that. Signs of toxic stress. So the 10 signs you should do a cleanse. If you are experiencing low energy throughout the day, by 3 o'clock, you just are dragging. You can't get yourself, motivated to get through the rest of the day. Brain fog. So if you're having trouble remembering things or having trouble focusing, any sort of allergies, food allergies, respiratory allergies, you have trouble losing weight. No matter what you do, you just cannot get rid of the weight. Any sort of constipation, depression. So if your mood is really low, and it's really low for a consistent period of time, you have difficulty sleeping, whether it's falling asleep, waking up in the middle of the night, if you have a reduced libido, any sort of indigestion or bloating. We talked about brain fog. That's an important one, is why it's listed again. And then frequent headaches. So if you're getting any sort of tension headaches, migraines, things like that, that could be a clue that you might need to do a cleanse. Okay, so the exposure pathways. So these are the 3 most vulnerable areas to toxins. So the lungs, the GI tract, and the skin. So we can absorb toxins ingested through our food, and that goes through the GI tract, through the air that we breathe, which goes through the lungs, and then transdermally when things are applied to the skin. So any sort of body lotions or shampoo or conditioner or a body wash, perfumes, any of those things are going into the skin. And some of those things are also going into the lungs because you can smell them as you're putting them on. So one other thing to mention here is that each of these areas have a defense mechanism to minimize toxic exposure. So the lungs, for instance, in the mouth, the nose, and the throat, it's lined with a thick mucous membrane, which traps foreign particles. And then there are special immune cells in the lungs to destroy anything that gets past mucous membrane. So our bodies are amazing. They're wired. They really are wired to keep us healthy. But if we're not sleeping, or if we're not eating correctly, or if we're too stressed, then those natural defense mechanisms are weakened. And so it's harder for our body to do what it's meant to do and keep us healthy. So this is another reason why we need to make sure that we're following all those facets of the pyramid. Okay, so number 1, avoiding toxic exposure. So the less toxins we're exposed to, it means the less toxins that are in our bodies. So this is a pretty straightforward one, and there are things that we can do right away to start avoiding toxic exposure. So number 1, washing your produce with lemon oil. If you're using organic produce, awesome. It's far less likely that you have pesticides or chemicals on the food. However, it's not guaranteed. The produce isn't tested before it gets on your plate. So there could be runoff, there could be chemicals, there could be, some sort of foreign contaminants on your produce that you're not aware of. And then if you're not using organic produce, then you definitely need to make sure that you're washing it. So you can make a little bath with lemon oil, some vinegar and baking soda, and just let it soak and kind of rinse off any wax or any pesticides that might be on the produce. So lemon oil is a great essential oil to use for that. And then you can diffuse oils to clean the air. So oils are demonstrated scientifically to help purify the air. So especially if you live in a place like LA or New York and you're being exposed to a lot of toxins in the air, having a diffuser on when you're not even home So it's purifying the air during the day, and then you get home, you walk through the door, and you have fresh, clean air. It's also great to do at night if you're experiencing issues with breathing and you need some respiratory support. It's a great way to clean the air and help open up the lungs so that the lungs are being freed of toxins. We use protective barriers like masks and gloves. So why not use essential oils as a partner of prevention? All right, so the next thing you can do, and this is something that I recommend for people, especially if you're having trouble losing weight and you're not as conscious of the products that you're using, is to make sure that you're using non-toxic cleaning and beauty products. Now, doTERRA has an entire line of skin, hair, and body care that have better ingredients. They have superior quality. And they also have a line of cleaning products that has the On Guard blend in it, which is the immune support blend. And these are free of harsh chemicals. So one easy thing you can do, first thing you can do is just make sure that you switch out all of the products that you have at home. If you're using any of the harsh cleansers that you might get in some of the popular drugstores or the popular grocery stores, you want to switch all of those out immediately for non-toxic stuff. That's something you can do fast, easily, and you're going to affect all of those 3 areas. So the lungs, the GI tract, and the skin, by making sure that you're using non-toxic products. All right, the second thing you can do is support defensive functions. And the way to do this is with supplementation, including essential oils. So why do we supplement? Unfortunately, much of our food has genetic modifications, especially in the US. I'm finding that in Europe, it's not allowed here, so it's pretty much non-existent. Genetic modifications can be very dangerous for the system because it's basically frankenfood. So any food that is genetically modified does not have the DNA that is recognizable by our bodies. So it can do a lot of damage to our bodies. And we're only just at the beginning of really understanding what the ramifications are. So why take the risk? Use organic, non-genetically modified products. And then if you're going to take supplements, make sure that you're using non-genetically modified supplements that are coming from the earth, coming from organic sources, and not from things that are made in a lab. We have to supplement because of pharmaceutical usage, especially if we had it in the earlier parts of our life, in our formative years. Even if we're using a lot of non-toxic organic products now, we have to make up for all that time that we did damage to our cells and try to regenerate our cells and our DNA. We might have some genetic weaknesses that we need to supplement. I have the MTHFR genetic mutation, so I have to supplement to make sure that I'm getting vitamin B processed in my body. Food is getting shipped from all over the world, and when it sits in a truck or a plane or a boat or wherever it's coming from, all the fresh enzymes that were on that produce are getting damaged or depleted the longer that piece of fruit or that leaf or vegetable has been pulled from the earth. And then eating behaviors. So we might be a little spastic in our eating. We do really well for a couple of days, and then we go crazy on burgers and fries for another couple of days. So we have to make sure that we're supplementing in some way, also because the nutrients in our soil are so depleted. They've been so depleted over the last the last century, but the last couple of centuries especially, just with the onset of mass farming. So if you are eating a really good diet, it's never going to be enough. So you have to make sure that you're supplementing in the right way. So you want to nourish and fortify. You need nutrients to fortify. Body needs energy to protect and detoxify the system. And liver function is paramount. So the liver needs to eliminate fat-soluble toxins. Free radicals need to be neutralized. Free radicals cause oxidation, which can damage cells. And then you have to avoid excessive inflammatory responses. And inflammation is basically just when the cell membrane is irritated. So if your cell membranes are irritated, it creates inflammation in the body. So a healthy foundation, this is doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality Pack. This is a trio of supplements that comes in a pack. The Alpha CRS Plus is the cellular vitality complex. It's got some really wonderful adaptogenic herbs in there, like turmeric. The XE Omega, this is the omega, it's the fish oil, and they have a vegan version for those of you that are vegan. It's called the VE Omega, I believe. So you can opt for that instead. They have they have a vegan version of the Lifelong Vitality Pack in total. And then the Microplex MVZ or DMZ is the multivitamin. And so this is designed to supplement the adult diet and correct deficiencies. So this is just something you should be taking every day. So we're going to talk about more of the cleansing part in just a moment, but above and beyond the cleansing, you can be taking this every day. It's the Lifelong Vitality Pack for a reason. And it's really everything you need. It's all the nutrients that you need in a given day to supplement your diet. Now, I think the reason why this pack is so effective is that the E-Omega has 9 essential oils in it, some of the most powerful essential oils on the planet. Number one, frankincense, which is amazing for helping cells to regenerate. So we were talking about inflammation earlier. It helps to have healthy cell membranes. So if you are taking this E-Omega, the essential oils are lipophilic, meaning that they can pass through the fatty cell membranes and go to the inside of the cell. So when you're taking this nutrient pack, the essential oils in the Omega are helping to usher in the nutrients into your cell because it's penetrating the cells and ushering the nutrients in. So this is really powerful, healthy foundation for your eating right pyramid. You can sort of add it into the eating right section of the pyramid. All right, the third is to support elimination pathways. Now, the pathway of elimination, so say you ingest a toxin, it's going to go through your liver, and your liver is going to process it. And then the liver is either going to send it to the kidneys or the colon. Now, the liver is meant to process fats, proteins, carbohydrates, so the rest of the body can use those things. It also detoxes the system of drugs and toxins. So then the waste needs to get eliminated, and it can either go to the kidneys, which that's the nitrogenous waste that goes to the kidneys. That's urea. And then the solid waste, which is the feces, that goes to the colon. So those are considered chimneys. There's the kidney chimney and the colon chimney. The liver doesn't have its own chimney, and so it's reliant on the 2 other chimneys. And so if those are blocked, if your kidneys or your colon are blocked or not functioning properly, the toxins will find another way to come out, and usually it'll come out through your skin. So when people are dealing with skin issues, if they're dealing with eczema, psoriasis, if they have acne, typically, in many cases, it can be because the body is not properly eliminating the toxins. So it's got to come out somehow. It's not coming out through the kidneys. It's not coming out through the colon. So where's it going to come out? It's going to come out through the skin. It's the fastest way to get it out of the body, so it's not getting lodged in the organs. So elimination pathways, primary chimneys, the intestinal tract, urinary system, and the liver. We talked about that. Secondary chimneys, respiratory system, and the skin. So when the primary chimneys are blocked, the secondary takes on the overload. So we want to support optimal elimination. We want to ensure primary chimneys are functioning, that there's proper flow of the intestinal tract, proper flow of the urinary tract, and proper liver function. We want to prevent the overuse of secondary chimneys so we can prevent unnecessary skin eruptions. The best way to do this, activate, reset, and renew. So this is the 30-day plan. And there's 3 different phases, which I'm going to review starting here. So the active phase is day 1 to 10. Okay, so you're taking the Lifelong Vitality Pack. You've got your foundational nutrition. You're adding in lemon oil, which you can be using to clean your produce. And I would also recommend starting your day first thing in the morning with a glass of warm water, not hot, just warm. You can warm it up in the tea kettle before it starts yelling at you, whistling at you. And then when the water is, a little bit past room temperature, you can pour it into a mug. You want to use ceramic. You can use glass, don't use plastic, and then add a drop of lemon oil and drink that 20 to 30 minutes before you eat anything first thing in the morning. You can also drink a little lemon oil water throughout the day. Just with internal use of essential oils, you want to be moderate. So you don't want to be drinking like 10 drops of lemon oil a day. A couple of drops a day is more than enough. For me, especially if I go to a restaurant, I usually add a drop of lemon to the water because sometimes restaurant water doesn't taste so great. So if they put ice in it, sometimes the ice is funky. So I like to take lemon oil in my bag and bring that with me when I go out to eat. Third thing is the Terrazyme. So the Terrazyme is a digestive enzyme, and this is going to be on the next slide. We'll talk about this in a little bit more detail. But this is something critical. If you are having any sort of indigestion, gas, bloating, anything that is uncomfortable in your digestive system, you may want to try out a digestive enzyme to see if it makes a difference. This has made a huge difference in my day-to-day, in my elimination process. So I definitely recommend it. And then we're going to introduce now the Zendocrine. So Zendocrine, you'll see here this white bottle. This is the herbal detoxification complex. And then at the bottom is the detoxification soft gels. So you have to be taking these two things together. They are different. And I'll explain a little bit more about how they are different. Okay, so first the Terrazyme. So the Terrazyme supports healthy digestion and metabolic processes. So unfortunately, as I was saying before, our food is so depleted of enzymes, and you have natural enzymes in your stomach, digestive enzymes, and then you get enzymes from raw vine-ripened fruit. So if you're not having fruit that you just picked from the apple tree in your backyard and you're eating it, most of the apples that you're eating are very depleted of enzymes. They may not have any enzymes, natural enzymes left. So also, if you're cooking and you're processing your foods, or you're eating processed foods regularly, those foods lack enzymes also. So I highly recommend adding in a digestive enzyme to see if it helps. So there's an anti-gluten enzyme blend. So for those of you that have gluten sensitivities, this Terrazyme digestive enzyme has an anti-gluten enzyme in it. And then there's increased lactase to help with lactose intolerance and gas. So with the Terrazyme, you can take between 1 and 3 with every meal. If you're having a salad, some fresh fruit, probably don't need as many Terrazyme. You might only need 1. If you're having meat, potatoes, some sort of sweet, hopefully on this cleanse you're not having any sweets, but if you do have a sweet, you definitely want to take more like 3 Terrazyme. I also like to take the Terrazyme on an empty stomach. So with my lemon oil water, first thing, I'll take 1 or 2 Terrazyme to help break down any undigested particles from the previous day so that I get to start my day off fresh and clean. And it usually helps motivate my bowels first thing in the morning also. Now the Zendocrine, this helps to promote healthy detox and cleansing of the liver, kidneys, colon, lungs, and the skin. It supports organ capacity to provide protective cleansing and filtering. And then it helps to rid the body of stored toxic waste products. It's a whole food plant herbal extract formula. It's not the same as the other Zendocrine that I was showing you, the soft gels. So the detoxification complex is the herbal part. It comes in a capsule. And then this is the soft gel. It comes in a little soft gel. So this is the one that has the essential oils. So it cleanses the body of harmful free radicals while also supporting the functions of a healthy liver. So the soft gels has the essential oils, which is the fatty part that can penetrate through the fatty part of the cell membrane. So the essential oils are going into the cells, helping release and detoxify the cells, and then it's the toxins that come out of the cells are binding to the herbal complex and then getting flushed out of the channels of elimination. So it's why you have to take them together. If you were just to take the soft gels, you have toxins coming out of your cells and just floating around your body. And if it's not getting eliminated properly, it can then get reabsorbed into the system. So you just want to make sure that if the toxins are getting released, they're getting flushed out of the body properly. So what I just mentioned, just to go back, active phase from day 1 to 10, this is the protocol. This is what you're taking. Now you might ask, how many times do I take it a day? When do I take it? How many of each? Never fear. If you start with this detox protocol, I will work with you, and I have a whole protocol sheet that'll tell you exactly what to take at what times of the day and how many of each bottle. So you will just be able to look at that page every day and know exactly what you need to do. So don't worry about trying to absorb that all now. Just know that this is the active phase. This is activation. It's sort of what we call the pre-cleanse until we get to this part, which is the reset phase. So again, you're taking your supplements every day, you're drinking your lemon oil water, you're taking your digestive enzymes, and you've got the Zendocrine herbal complex, plus you're still taking the soft gel, even though it's not pictured here, you're still taking that. And then on day 11, you add in the GX Assist. Now the pre-cleanse is important because if you did the GX Assist on day 1 and you try to clean out the intestinal tract with the GX Assist, if your channels of elimination haven't already started moving and opening and unblocking, you might have some pretty intense detox reactions. So detox reactions can be in the form of headaches, more skin eruptions, indigestion, bloating, gas, feverishness, because when the toxins are getting released, if they're not coming out of your body properly, you're going to feel them in your body. So if you notice some uncomfortable detox reactions, best things to do are drink more water, a lot more water. Make sure you're drinking like half your body weight in water a day. Juicing first thing in the morning, fresh green juices, strained raw juices in the morning, an hour before you eat any solid food. You can increase the raw food in your diet to help with the cleansing process. Also, colon hydrotherapy, gravity colon hydrotherapy. We have a couple of listeners who are experts in that realm. If you would like to find an amazing gravity colon hydrotherapist, look no further than our own Joyce Rockwood. And she is the director of the Gravity Colon Hydrotherapy Division at the Springs in downtown LA. So if you live in Los Angeles, I highly recommend you go get a colonic with Joyce. This will help a lot with the elimination process, and it's something that you might want to do at the beginning of your cleanse, before you start, throughout the cleanse, and after, and something that you may want to incorporate into your lifestyle. So GX Assist. So this is a 10-day cleanse. This is the detox. This detoxes the rest of our body. So in the GX Assist, inside of it, are these essential oils. There's oregano, melaleuca, lemon, lemongrass, peppermint, and thyme. Okay, so these are some powerhouse essential oils. Oregano, super powerhouse. If you've ever experienced oregano before, it's pretty strong. If you've ever experienced doTERRA's oregano before, it will knock your socks off. Oregano, doTERRA's oregano is not something you'd want to put directly on your tongue or directly in a cup of water, but in this soft gel format, it's going straight to your digestive system. So it's a much better way to be ingesting the oregano than putting it on your sensitive mucous membranes in your tongue. So the GX Assist, it purifies and cleanses the digestive system. It's also got caprylic acid in it. And caprylic acid is a unique 8-carbon fatty acid, and it has clinically proven detox properties. It's lipophilic, like the essential oils. So it penetrates cell membranes. It can penetrate the cell membrane of a hostile organism and help to eliminate it. So this combination, this GX Assist, is no joke. That is why you don't want to start it until day 11. You want to make sure that you're doing the pre-cleanse for 10 full days before you start the GX Assist. I personally have trouble detoxing. I did the pre-cleanse for an entire 30 days, and I didn't start the GX Assist until day 40. So another reason why I provide the coaching is so I can help you figure out what the right fit is. Whether if you're used to cleansing and you detox pretty well and you're not dealing with the MTHFR genetic mutation, you can probably do the cleanse in 30 days. If you're having some challenges in your health, then you may want to do more of a 60-day cleanse. But you can, everything that's in this cleanse, you can just modify and just make it longer. So if you're not sure what you should be doing, just email me, Amanda at Real Urban Wellness. That's my email address, Amanda at Real Urban Wellness, and I can help you figure it out. So the gastrointestinal tract, this is the GI tract, it has 70% of the body's immune function. There's a balance of intestinal and gut bacteria, both good and bad. And then there's intestinal microflora. So there's friendly bacteria, which help with digestion, prevent growth of harmful pathogens, and they train endothelial cells for immune response. So we want to have some microflora. We want to have a lot of microflora in our gut. We need it. If we've been on antibiotics for long periods of time in our life, I was on antibiotics pretty much my whole childhood. So my gut is challenged. It's something that I need to focus on very religiously to make sure that I am keeping the friendly flora healthy and colonizing in my gut. threats to microflora might be physical stressors. If you have a stressful job, if you're going through a breakup or a move or something that's just, you work out too much. There is such a thing as over-exercising. Things like that can be a threat to the microflora. Chemicals and toxins, we talked about that already. So toxins in your food, toxins in your beauty products, toxins in the beverages that you're drinking. If you have an unhealthy diet, traveler's exposure. So if you're going to another country and you drink the water in Mexico accidentally, maybe you have a cocktail with some ice cubes in it that you probably shouldn't have had. That can also be a threat to the microflora. And then synthetic ingestibles. I like this term. This is something that you might get from the doctor or from the drugstore. So those can also be threats to microflora. Compromised microflora. So how do you know if your microflora isn't doing so good? You might have digestive discomfort, sensitivities to food, chronic GI challenges. So maybe you have a spastic colon, you're either having diarrhea or constipation and you never seem to have a solid bowel movement. You're super fatigued, you don't have enough energy throughout the day. You get sick all the time. It seems like every time there's flu comes around, you're getting it. That can be an indication that your microflora is compromised. So we have the reset phase. So we did the initial activate phase, then we did the renew, and now we're doing the reset. So you're still taking your vitamins, you're still taking your lemon oil water, your digestive enzymes, your Zendecrine, herbal plus the soft gels. You stop taking the GX Assist, that was only for 10 days. And then you start the PB Assist and the DDR Prime. Now, some people like to take the DDR Prime at the beginning. There are enough soft gels in this bottle that you could do it the whole entire cleanse. If you feel a little overwhelmed by the number of supplements you have to take, then you can just wait until day 21 and start the DDR Prime then. PB Assist is a 10-day restore. There's pre and probiotics in the one capsule, 5 billion probiotic CFUs per capsule, and 30 capsules per bottle. So they're time-release vegetable capsules. And there's prebiotic fiber, which are the fructooligosaccharides, FCOs, and probiotic microbes. So they're time-released. It's a double capsule, and they're so cool looking. I have all my supplements right on my desk right now, but I don't see the probiotics. So there's a double capsule. They're clear, but then on the inside you see this little green part, and in the green part is the prebiotic. It's chlorophyll, and so the probiotic needs the prebiotic to feed on so that it can start to populate and grow in the intestines. So it's there's a double capsule, so there's a time release, and it gets into our small intestines rather than just getting digested by our stomach acids. So if you have a probiotic at home and you're wondering, oh, well, I already have this, can I just use this? Unless it has pre and probiotics and it's also enterically coated, double capsuled, no, you can't take what you already have, to be very honest with you. So this PB Assist, this probiotic, is extremely high quality. And if you're going to do this cleanse, I recommend using the PB Assist and not what you have at home. If you have something that's like refrigerated or in yogurt, you're getting some of the probiotics, but most of it's getting eaten up by your stomach acids. So you want to make sure that whatever you're taking is getting into your small intestine. The DDR Prime Cellular Complex. So we just released a bunch of toxins, right? We just got free radicals out and we just cleansed our bodies. Now we need to support cellular function and renewal. So we got to increase protection against free radical damage. So that's what this DDR Prime does. They're little soft gels that have essential oils in them. It's really powerful, super powerful complex. And then this little note here, apoptosis. So apoptosis is basically natural cell death. Your cells die and your entire body rejuvenates every 6 months. So you're basically like a new person every 6 months. And what your body becomes is based on what you eat. So 6 months from now, you could be a McDonald's and Dorito person, or 6 months from now, you could be a salad and carrot and raw juice person. So it's up to you how you want to do it. So when your cells die healthily, that is called apoptosis. When your cells do not die healthily, that is called cancer. So when your cells don't die and they keep growing and growing and growing and replicating, that's when you get cancer and your body basically shuts down. So so there are certain essential oils in this DDR prime complex that help to promote healthy apoptosis, which is what we want. Now, some support oils. So favorite product for healthy weight. So if you're looking to lose weight, aside from just detoxing, you also want to lose some weight. You can use this Slim and Sassy oil, and you could alternate between lemon oil in your water and Slim and Sassy in your water. Slim and Sassy is pretty strong. It's a little spicy. It's got grapefruit and cinnamon and ginger. If you don't like the idea of drinking it, if some of those flavors don't appeal to you, you can get the soft gels, and they're in little capsules, so you just swallow them. You get the same therapeutic benefit without having to drink it or taste it. Promotes healthy metabolism, and it manages sugar cravings and hunger. So if you are dealing in general with a lot of sugar cravings, it might even get worse when you do this cleanse, because you're going to be eliminating those toxins. And when you start eliminating those toxins, it can trigger certain things in you, like whatever addiction you might have. It can make it worse. So putting a little Slim and Sassy in your water on your tongue when you have a sugar craving can help minimize that. Digestin, it helps to maintain a healthy gastrointestinal tract, reduce bloating, gas, and occasional indigestion, and ease feelings of queasiness. So Digestin is nice after a meal. So if you ate a meal and you want a little support with digestion, you can put a drop of Digestin on the back of your hand and take a lick. Or you can put Digestin in a tiny little shot glass of water. You don't want to drink a lot of water when you eat, because you don't want to dilute all the digestive enzymes you just put in your stomach. But you could take a little bit in water. If the Digestin directly on, taking a lick of it is too strong, put a little bit in water and drink that after a meal. Again, they make them in soft gels. So if you don't like the flavor, you can get them in the soft gel and get the same therapeutic benefit. The third one is On Guard. And On Guard helps support healthy immune function. So if one of those things that you are dealing with is a weakened immune system, and it's one of the reasons why you're detoxing, this is a great oil to use to help support. You can use it on your hands. Every time you go out to a restaurant and you want to put a drop on your palms. If you fly on a plane, put a drop on your palms. In your home, put it in your diffuser and diffuse the On Guard to help purify the air in your home. Now, the On Guard comes in a soft gel form, but it's On Guard Plus. So in addition to the On Guard Protective Blend, there's also some other oils in there, including oregano, black pepper, and melissa. So the On Guard Plus is not something you would use on a daily basis. On Guard Plus is only for extra support. Yesterday, for instance, I started feeling like I needed a lot of extra support. Around 9 o'clock, I was like, whoa, something just came over me. I got really tired. And I could feel a little soreness in my throat and my lymph nodes. So I took 2 On Guard soft gels, and then I had a couple of coaching sessions. I took 2 more before I went to bed, and I woke up this morning and I felt so much better. So it really just helps to support the immune system. It boosts our natural immune system. All right, I think someone had a question. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. So how to maintain. So we do the 30-day cleanse. What do you do next? So you can take the PB Assist daily to support the gastrointestinal system. So you use it one capsule of PB Assist daily for regular probiotic support. You can continue to take the Terrazyme with meals to help digest your food. The Zendocrine is something that I take daily, but you can take quarterly. You can even take it for 1 month every 3 to 4 months. So on a quarterly basis, take it for a full month. But again, I take it daily just because I have trouble detoxing. This is supposed to say GX Assist, not Acid. GX Assist and PB Assist, you can take quarterly to promote gastrointestinal health. So basically, you would do this cleanse on a quarterly basis if you would like. You do it now, and then maybe you do it, at the end of the summer, before the fall, and then you do it before the holidays. So this is something that you can start to incorporate in your lifestyle as needed, whatever time frame feels right for you. On a daily basis, however, you definitely want to be eating right, incorporating digestive enzymes, and the PB Assist at the minimum. And then lemon oil water, Slim and Sassy, Digestin, On Guard, those are things that you can use regularly on a daily basis. Other cleansing techniques. So I am doing all of these things when I go to Budapest. I'm going to be on like a hardcore cleansing protocol. These are things that you can do at home also. You can be juicing, oil pulling. Take some coconut oil with a couple of drops of On Guard oil in a little tablespoon, put it in your mouth, swish it around for up to 20 minutes, spit it out, brush your teeth. It's a great way to pull toxins out of the blood through the gum line. Dermasuri, my friend Melody created these mitts. It's called Dermasuri. You can go to dermasuri.com and buy one. I think they're like 20, 25 bucks or something. It's a mitt that you use to scrape the dead skin off your body. And it's amazing. Your body feels like a baby's butt when you're done. It's awesome. So it's a great way to get toxins and dead skin off, and you get very lovely and beautified for the summer. Sulfur water. I'm going to be drinking a lot of sulfur water when I'm in Budapest. They also, there's a Slim and Sassy wrap that you can do. So basically you take Slim and Sassy oil, you mix it with coconut oil, you slather it all over your body, wrap yourself in muslin, which is basically the stuff they use to make ace bandages. You can also use cheesecloth. Wrap yourself in that. Once your body's covered in the muslin, then you can wrap yourself in plastic. Just don't let the plastic touch your skin. And then you kind of let yourself sweat for an hour or two. And I've tried this. I've done it before. I have lost inches in a matter of a couple of hours, because basically it's detoxing you from the outside in. So if your fat cells grow because the toxins are going inside. Toxins go inside, fat cells grow. Toxins come out, fat cells shrink. That's basically what you're doing. Earthing. This is a really cool concept. Now you can buy earthing mats, or you can just go put your feet in the actual earth. I would say number 2 is probably a better option, but if you don't live close to the earth, which is so sad to think about, but if you are not getting on the earth on a daily basis, you can buy earthing mats. And the earth has an electromagnetic energy that helps to energize our bodies. And one of the theories is that people are so depressed and fatigued and all of these things because they're not connecting to that electromagnetic energy, because we wear shoes that have rubber on the bottom of them. And rubber disrupts that energetic or that electromagnetic energy coming into our bodies. So put your feet in the dirt, put your feet in the sand, earth it up. Breathing, hello, deep breathing, get that lung channel eliminating toxins and creating relaxation. Yoga, chakra balancing. You can do chakra balancing with essential oils, and we'll actually be doing a webinar on that coming up. So stay tuned for that to learn more about how to chakra balance essential oils. Massage, meditation, you're cleansing your mind, your body, your spirit. Journaling, getting the toxic thoughts out of your mind and just getting it onto the page. Oh, yoga again, because that's clearly very important. Tapping. This tapping is a technique where you basically tap on different acupuncture meridians, and you say affirmations, and it helps to what's the best word I'm looking for? It helps to kind of revitalize the mind and create healthy belief systems. And I actually did a tapping exercise for 30 days on unexpected income. I did every day. It was about 8 minutes of tapping, and it was amazing. I have to tell you that I had so much unexpected income in 30 days that I'm going to start tapping again on it when I get to Budapest. Colon hydrotherapy we talked about. Make sure it's gravity colon hydrotherapy. Infrared saunas. If you go to the springs and you get a colonic, you can also go into their infrared sauna. And then Epsom salt baths. So you can take a bath, put some Epsom salts in there, 2 cups of Epsom salt, and then essential oils. I love lavender, I love patchouli, sandalwood, clary sage. I do not recommend putting lemon oil, peppermint, oregano, any of the spicy or cooling or citrus oils in the bath. The citruses burn, the cooling ones make you freezing, and then the spicy ones will not feel good either. So you want to use the more gentle, flowery, woodsy ones. The other thing I'll mention for cleansing is the life-changing magic of tidying up. So cleansing the space in your home, creating more positive energy in your space. I recommend checking out that book. I've done that now twice. And every time I do it, I feel like I have it's like a rebirth energetically and spiritually in my home. So highly recommend that. Okay, let's see. Oops. Sorry, I was just checking questions. All right, next. What's next? Get the oils into your home safely and at the best price. Start with the Cleanse and Restore Kit to get everything you need for a 30-day detox. And with the Cleanse and Restore Kit, you get a year-long membership with doTERRA for free. This is the Cleanse and Restore Kit. It's the best way to start if you're ready to do the cleanse. It's $245 and you get everything you need. The Lifelong Vitality Pack, the digestive enzymes, the Zendocrine Herbal Complex and the soft gels, the GX Assist, the PB Assist, the DDR Prime, and the lemon oil. Now, if you want to get the Slim and Sassy and the Digestin and the On Guard, you can always add those on to the kit. But this kit, you save $79 below the wholesale price of the products. So you're getting them at wholesale prices in this kit, and then you're saving even more because they're packaged together, and you're getting your membership with doTERRA for free. The smartest way to buy moving forward, if you decide to continue with the supplements and the digestive enzymes, the smartest way to buy is through something called the Loyalty Rewards Program, and this is an amazing part of doTERRA. When you buy your supplements through this program, you get rewards back. And every other place I buy my supplements from, if I go to the health food store and buy supplements, which I don't, but if I did, they don't give me rewards. So this program gives you rewards back. As long as you're ordering about $50 worth of products a month, you will get a percentage between 10 and 30% back. So that's really generous. 10% on $50 is about $5 back. 30% on 50 is $15 back. So that's $15 more that you have that you wouldn't have had if you go to the health food store. So the way it works, when you start out with, if you start out with the Cleanse and Restore Kit, you'll earn 10% back on your next purchase if you buy the items through the Loyalty Rewards Program. So you do the cleanse this month. Next month, you get the Lifelong Vitality Pack, the Terrazyme, the probiotics, and an oil or two. You get 10% back on that. 3 months later, it bumps up to 15% back. And then 20% back 3 months later. And then 3 months after that, you bump up to 25% back. And then after a year of ordering, you're getting the supplements, they've been working for you, you're enjoying them. A year later, you're still ordering them, you're gonna get 30% back on that. So that's a huge amount of savings. I get hundreds of dollars worth of free products every year. You know, you get the percentage back on the products in the form of product credits, you save them up in a rewards bank, and then you can redeem them at any time. They also do something called the Free Oil of the Month Club. So if you're ordering about $125 a month, and you order it by the 15th of each month through this program, they'll automatically send you the free product. And it's different every month. We don't find out what it is until the first day of the month. Now, this is an optional part of doTERRA. However, if you are using the supplements every month, it's a no-brainer. You just order your products through this program. You also get significant discounts on the supplements when you order them through this program. So that is why I wanted to mention it. Now you get to choose the role that's best for you. When you join doTERRA and you start working with me as your coach, or I start working with you as your coach, you can choose one of 3 pathways. The first is just to be a customer. You just be a customer, you live the lifestyle, you get coaching for free for 90 days, and you get to improve your life and hopefully those of the people that you love around you. Now, some people start using the products and they fall in love with them and they can't stop from sharing them with other people. They just start telling all of their friends, everyone at work. And so if that happens to you, which most likely it will, but if it does, you can start sharing and host a class at your home. And when you host a class, I come teach, or the person who invited you to this webinar will come teach with you. They'll actually teach the class for you, bring all the oils, all the handouts. All you have to do is invite your friends. And if you invite people, you get a gift. And you can earn quite a few gifts depending on who comes and if people decide to get started with oils. So it's a nice way to get free products, and you can even earn cash this way too. And then the third way is for people who are ready to supplement or completely replace their income. They would love to teach. They're just a natural educator, a natural leader. They're dedicated to health and wellness, and they want to create another income source, or they don't love their job and they want to have a new career opportunity. It is possible to build a business with doTERRA, so you can talk to the person who invited you and they will give you more information if you're curious. Now, if you host, you can receive gifts, like I mentioned. And just for booking a class, you get this really cool keychain, which will carry 8 of your favorite mini oils, and they have these little vials, the mini vials. So just for booking a class, you get a keychain. If you have 5 or more attendees come to the class that are not already using doTERRA, you can have the bottles filled up with your favorite oils. So you have automatically an on-the-go kit to put in your purse or your bag, and this is just for hosting a class. Now you can earn even more products, and that's something that you can talk to the person who invited you to this webinar. You can talk to them more about what they have available for you. Now, the benefits of working with me: 90 days of free oils coaching. I will help you create a 90-day plan of how to use your oils. I will coach you through the cleanse. I will give you support. I'll be your biggest cheerleader. I will go above and beyond to make sure you have the ultimate experience with your oils. You'll also get free oils, gifts, educational materials, and resources when you start working with me and you get your oils through me. You'll also get added to an oil camp. It's optional, but it's so fun. It's 2 weeks long. It's all online, and you can win free oils this way. Everyone who I've added to this group loves it. They learn so much about their oils. It helps really orient them into the process, and they got free stuff. You also get access to a community of doctors, natural health practitioners, leaders, and educators who want to help further educate and empower you. This is our mission. It's our passion. We want to make sure that you are living the ultimate life. You're living the healthiest life you possibly can and getting back to that sense of wholeness and wellness that you were born with. So if this spoke to you, if you want to learn more about how to cleanse, email me with "I'm ready" in the subject line at amanda@realurbanwellness.com. Let me know that you're ready. We can get you started with the cleanse right away, or we can hop on the phone and I can help you troubleshoot and figure out what to start with if you're not really sure. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you. And let's stay in touch. Follow me on Facebook, Real Urban Wellness, or Amanda Brumell. That's BROOMELL. Or follow me on Instagram at Real Urban Wellness. You can track my journey through Budapest. I will be sharing more tips and tricks about the cleansing protocols that I'm using. You can watch other class webinars. So search Real Urban Wellness on YouTube, and you can see an Essential Oils 101 class. You can see an Emotional Aromatherapy 101 class. You can learn more about why doTERRA is a revolution in business. And then you can watch this webinar as soon as I upload it. And then you can email me to set up a free coaching session. So if you need more guidance before you get started, just send me a note and we can talk more about it. So I want to thank you for spending your time today. It is right about on the hour, so I want to wrap up and be conscious of your time. If there are any questions that you have that did not get answered, just type them into the chat box now, and I'm happy to answer them before we wrap up. Otherwise, if there's something that you want to ask me privately, again, email me, Facebook friend me, Instagram me, send me a direct message, and I'm happy to help coach you through whatever questions that you have. So I wish you all a very happy and fruitful and lovely spring. I'm just overjoyed with how amazing the weather has been here, and I hope it's becoming just as wonderful, if not already as wonderful for you. So you can go out and bask in that sunlight for no more than 15 minutes a day. And I hope to see you here on future webinars. So thank you so much for joining, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.